This is a demo of the Distressed FX application. You can see here I've opened the app, and this is what it looks like when you go inside. And there's a little camera icon in the upper left, and I'm going to choose a photo from there, and I will choose this one from my camera roll, which is one that I had just edited with Snapseed. And it gives me an option to either make it square or keep it rectangular. And I'm going to keep it rectangular and click the little check mark. And now it will bring it into the app. Unlike most apps, it does not have a click to zoom. You have to sort of use the arrows at the top that sort of go in different directions. And there's a couple other things to note. Up at the top, there's a gear that allows you to choose the file format that you can work in. For now, I'm going to keep it in JPEG. You can sort of rotate the picture and export it also as you wish. The way the app is done, I like to think of it in terms of a painter. And so the top row of textures, if you will, are going to be, in essence, skies or light or luminous elements in the image. You can think of it as glazing almost, as a painter would. Or a photographer, you can think of it as your skies or your light. The bottom row are going to be your ground. A painter would think of your canvas, your ground, or a photographer might think of it as your backdrop. So again, that top row is going to be setting conceptually your light, your sky, and the bottom row is going to be setting your background or your image ground. So usually I will set, and the way they work is you can choose all sorts of different ones, and it will change. As you go through, you can pick each one. And you notice I accidentally hit one there. There's options for the blend mode, multiply, overlay, hard light, soft light, or screen. There aren't too many, but there's so many textures that it really doesn't matter. And then if you scroll all the way to the right, there's this little suitcase here, and you can pick the pack. Now, if you have the free version, you may only have the original one. If you have the plus version, it unlocks all of the packs for you, right? So for this image, I'm going to actually, there's a few of them you can do. I'm going to actually do an interesting sky, right? So I'm going to pick Beyond Skies. And you can see as I go through here, there's interesting skies afoot. And I can choose, put clouds in. There's some other packs. I'll look at another one really quickly. There's this one is sort of gives you pretty impressive clouds. Actually, that one's kind of cool. There's a bunch of clouds you can insert. So you see, you can make a sunset in almost any photo as you wish. And again, you can adjust each one. So right now I have it to multiply. If I want it softer, I could do overlay. Sometimes I do soft light, depending on how it works. And then if you come, let's see. I will just hit. I'll try one of the more wild ones, so you can see some of the very different ones, the vastly different ones that they have. There's a lot of options in this app, and you can really play with it for hours. So I'm just going to go back and go ahead, and I'm going to hit maybe one of the Beyond Skies, and maybe I'll do let's see, what have we got? One that doesn't look too far off. I guess I'll go back to that one. Looks pretty good, so we'll do this one. And maybe I'll do, I guess I'll keep it to multiply for now, so it looks a little darker. And then I'll come down here, and I'll do, again, it's the same sort of story. I can do different textures as I wish, and they're all kind of different. So, for example, if I were to do this one, it would give me, that sort of texture. And again, you can really play with the textures here. There's all kinds of, painterly ones. And that's the original textures. There are some of the ones I like to use. Box of Colors is an interesting one. One of the ones I really like is Old World Gallery. There's a lot in there that are quite nice. And you can see some of them are more scraping type textures. Some of them are, more vignetting style. But they're interesting textures in of themselves. So yeah, maybe I'll go with this one and come in here, and we'll stay with that one. And then I can adjust the layers of the texture. So if I wanted to sort of peel back the texture, I could come in here and, make it sort of disappear. And I could also adjust the brightness, the contrast, the saturation, everything in here. There's lots of ways. And this app now also lets you save presets. So if you get a certain way, you can save it as a preset. So that's one thing I can do. And keep in mind, too, that you can then export this file and bring it back into an app like Snapseed and brighten it up. So if you get a texture you like, you can brighten it again. It also has a blur tool. So like if I wanted to, say I wanted my little house to be in focus but nothing else, I could blur and it will keep that in focus. And it has a masking tool. So like if I wanted to come in here and say, I didn't want my little house to be textured, but everything else textured, I would say okay, and you see it didn't texture them. And then if I decide I didn't want that, it's a minus, and I do kind of do the same thing, and I just put it back the way it was, and that would do it. And I think for this one, I think I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit. And once I get something I like, it also has, I forgot, it also has the birds. So you can actually add birds and trees to the image. So it is kind of interesting. So you can add like a trio of birds. Actually I kind of like where it put them. Put them up in the corner there. You can add, let's see, if you want to, one of the birds I use a lot is the storybook birds. Those are kind of interesting. There's one that, I think this one, I think I'm going to go with that one, and I'm going to have them maybe coming in from the corner up there, like so. And that gives me, actually I'm going to kind of put them up there. Yeah, we'll put them up in the corner a little bit, maybe down here. So we'll put the birds over there. And we'll move them around. I like moving around my birds. Okay, so that gives me my painted look with my birds. And then let's say I wanted to save this. I would just hit the little button and do save image, and it will save it. And that's pretty much the demo of it. It's a very powerful tool. There's more to the app than I've shown you. I hope you get a sense of what it does, and try it out, kick the tires, and tell me what you think.